I'm Dr. Lindsay Doe, clinical sexologist and host of this sex-curious show, Sexplanations. Most videos on YouTube receive a large portion of their income from ad revenue, but our income is negligible. We've produced almost 300 episodes, and every one that has a yellow dollar sign next to it rather than a green one is deemed unsuitable for most advertisers. These are our top videos since starting Sexplanations in June of 2013, and the amount we've made from each view of them. How to make toy vaginas, anal sex, the ultimate blowjob part 1, anal sex prep, Dr. Doe's pelvic exam, the ultimate blowjob part 2, masturbation, 33 masturbation tips, cunnilingus, and sex toys 101, which is all to illustrate that this advertising ecosystem doesn't value sex education or sex educators. And it certainly doesn't send the message that you are as important watching sexual self-care videos as you are watching everything else online. So you might be saying to yourself, what? And I concur, Sexplanations is important. It makes an enormous impact. Here's some evidence. As a 17-year-old growing up in an abstinence-only education, your videos have done wonders for me. I have become in charge of my sexuality, great at communicating and being able to understand all the things vital for a healthy sex life. Thank you for all that you do for kids like me. This isn't a unique situation. Only 13 of 50 US states are required to teach medically accurate sex ed. Alabama, South Carolina, and Texas actually have to give students negative information about sexual orientation if they even discuss sexuality at all. It's bad, but there are countries where sexual information is even more unavailable. I learned a few weeks ago that our video on wet dreams, which I wrote for 11-year-olds on the brink of puberty, has been age restricted. We made it to remove the embarrassment around ejaculation and lubrication, body changes that aren't universally discussed. I wanted it to be a video that would encourage a sense of excitement about our bodies and what's going on. Oh, America! Oh, world! Oh, YouTube! Don't you want us to know this? Right, so in a system that really limits how we get information out there, a world that has a lot of sexual dysfunction, and on a platform that tends to quarantine sexual content, how do we get that info out anyway? How can you help? First, patreon.com/sexplanations makes it pretty easy to say, I want to give $1 or $2 or $10 a month to Sexplanations. Both the Sexplanations YouTube channel and Sexplanations podcast have Patreon accounts you can use. Click, click, click. Done. You're an official Sexplana. Over 1,400 of you are doing this, so thank you. Another funding source is sponsorship. Companies like adamandeve.com provide meaningful support for Sexplanations, so when you use discount code DOE, we benefit. Sexplanations also has a site and a store that brings in some monies. On Sexplanations.com, you can donate through PayPal here and click on the Visit Shop button. Clothes, posters, masturbating monsters, coloring book, and a tank top. Since a lot of the places where Sexplanations is used are approaching summer or stay fairly warm, I'm looking at you, Australia. I love this map and thinking about all of you out there empowered to do the best you can for your sex lives. I feel especially fortunate to have met many of you at conferences and campuses. Strong financial health is important to us, but sharing Sexplanations is imperative to our mission. Reposting videos and podcasts, commenting on them, liking them or disliking them, and subscribing all make sure that the knowledge we want people to have gets out there. Closed captioning and translating, I can't emphasize enough how important these services are. I love that masturbation is in 7 different languages, that consent is in 9, and that almost all of our videos are closed captioned. This doesn't mean that advertisers are vying for our pre-roll spots, but it does influence more people to check us out, some of whom add other languages, share their experiences in the comments, and support us on Patreon so that everyone else can have free sex ed. Here's a breakdown of the age groups and some genders who use Sexplanations: kids in early puberty, teenagers, young adults, and older adults seeking accurate information to make better decisions. People who say, this is the most important YouTube channel of all time and probably the most helpful thing I can find in regards to sexuality. As someone who has always been shy about anything to do with sex, I just want to say you have helped me so much. Your videos have given me so much confidence. It has made a huge difference for me and my husband. This should be a high school course. I agree. I think what we do is awesome. If you've helped in any of these ways, even by consuming what we make so that you're a more sex-positive citizen, you're responsible for this. You make Sexplanations possible. Thank you for staying curious. Some of you have asked me how you can get money to us without a Patreon account. You can donate via PayPal at sexplanations.com. YouTube Red makes it easy so that you don't get ads and we get paid. And then there's also putting a good old check in the mail to Sexplanations at P.O. Box 8147, Missoula, Montana 59807. Details in the description.